Thank you, Secretary Zinke. It's good to see you again. I want to start with renewable energy. I know we've had this conversation. The state of Nevada, 87% of the land is owned by the federal government. So our partnership is key. And the interaction that we have with all of the federal agencies is important to the state of Nevada. One of the areas that we have been focused on is renewables and responsible development of wind, solar, and geothermal energy on public lands has long had a broad bipartisan support, including from you during your time in Congress as a co-sponsor of the Public Land Renewable Energy Development Act, and it's played a growing role in our economy. Solar now supports more jobs than natural gas and over twice the jobs in coal, according to a 2017 Department of Energy report. Yet, for the second year in a row, the administration's proposed budget looks at cutting DOI renewable programs by almost half. A proposed 50% cut for fiscal year 18 and a 40% cut for fiscal year 19. Looking at these numbers, it appears that renewable energy development is not an important part of the department's charge. If this administration is committed to what I've heard you say time and again, all of the above energy strategy, then why is renewable energy the only energy program that is proposed being cut?
Thank you for the question, and that is a great question. We looked at the expected demand, and the expected demand by all our modeling was about $73 million, and that's what we funded it. It's down from 20. With solar, there's some projects out west, particularly in California, that are proposing 338,000 acres of a solar field on federal land. That's 500 square miles. So every energy, as you know, every energy source has its consequences. Wind chops up birds. I was criticized for saying 750,000. I have the study that says about, let's see, 800,000, over 800,000 bats and 573,000 birds. So that's a study from the USGS. So wind chops up a lot of birds. Solar, when you put a solar field in, it's single use. You're not going to hunt on it. You're not going to recreate on it, and it's tough for habitat. But our policy is all the above. And there are appropriate places for wind. There's an appropriate place for solar. We just have to make sure that we understand the consequences and have a national dialogue. It is better to produce energy in this country under reasonable regulation than watch it get produced overseas with none. Energy is core to our economic well-being, and quite frankly, morally, to produce energy in this country is morally right, because I don't want to see your kids after have to go overseas and see what I've seen.
So can I just clarify my understanding? Your concern is the environmental impacts that solar and wind have, and that's why you've taken a look at cutting this budget for these areas. That's what I've heard.
Our budget reflects the expected demand. There was great demand in solar early. Solar demand.
Did I not just hear you say in offshore oil drilling there's low demand? But yet you're increasing the budget.
No, what I'm saying, what I said in offshore is.
I'm just confused with the whole overall energy policy.
No, what I said was in offshore, we'll see. The lease is about in March. I think it's going to be a bellwether of interest offshore vice onshore. There's no question that offshore oil and gas is riskier than onshore. Secondly is the shale plays onshore
riskier in what sense?
Significant.
Environmental impact, or the fact that nobody will come out because it doesn't pencil out, cost prohibitive?
It's riskier for a number of reasons. One is environmentally. When BP, it's well over $20 or $30 billion BP is paid.
But yet the budget has increased for that. So let me move on, because we'll submit these on the record. The reorganization, you and I have talked about this, and I so appreciate, this is a tough thing to do. I've talked to you about the fact that the Duck Valley Indian Tribal Reservation is both on Idaho and Nevada state line land, straddles that, right? And so BLM in Idaho treats them differently than the BLM in Nevada. Yet what I'm looking at now in your map is cutting Nevada in half. for your BLM regions. I don't quite understand that. And so what I'm asking for is a commitment from you and DOI to work with the stakeholders and the governor in the state of Nevada to address our concerns. Will you be committed to doing just that?
I am. I have talked to the governor, and now I understand he's in support of our plan. If you have a map in front of you, Nevada's already divided in multiple regions. Our plan has it right now is keeping the BLM directors, because almost all the states that have BLM enjoy the relationship with having a BLM director, a state director. But our larger issue is trying to bring BOR, BIA, Park Service, the different bureaus within Interior, and realigning to make sure we're on unified districts, unified regions, based on watershed and science. And you can see the map on the right is our current organization. And you look at Nevada, Nevada is carved up probably 7 or 8 different lines. And the map on the left is how our proposal. What we've done is we looked at science, watersheds, wildlife corridors, about 13 variables, ecosystems. Then we brought our SCSs in, and these are career professionals.
Career professionals. And so let me, my time is running out, and I don't want to get into anybody else's. So let me just
your
ask
time is
this.
out.
Yeah. So can I just ask for a commitment that you come back to us and go through this and be willing to talk to us more about what is going on here? Because we have not had the opportunity to explore this with you and your staff as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And Congress has a critical role in this. And that's why it says draft. So we're introducing it to you. We'll go through. I've just kind of outlined the steps we've taken thus far. We are to the draft of where we are, but both the House and the Senate have an enormous amount of say in this, and we think we need to reorganize in unified districts. We're willing to work with it and murder board it out. If there's some adjustment that needs to be made, great.
Thank you.